So this is my short-term project presentation about data use implementation at MAJ Jones Elementary School. So what we will review today is MAJ at a glance. What is the current state of MAJ Jones Elementary? 2, math data dig. 3, the continuous improvement project. What can be done to positively impact student achievement? And 4, the implementation plan. What steps will be taken to support student achievement? MAJ at a glance. This is MAJ Jones Elementary School. It was opened in 1963, and it was the first African American superintendent was our principal at MAJ Jones. We boast that we were the first DOE STEM certified school and Cognia certified school in the Atlanta public school system. Our mission: all MAJ Jones students school-wide in grades pre-K through 5th are engaged in daily rigorous STEAM instruction and exposed to the arts and innovative practices to ensure 100% are proficient or distinguished in all core content areas. We also have a vision for our students. We will provide joyful learning experiences and opportunities where all students possess a strong academic foundation while being motivated to critically think, problem solve, engage in creativity through the arts, and work together collaboratively for the good of themselves, the school, and the community. An overview of MAJ Jones will show that at the time of this presentation, there were approximately 462 students enrolled at MAJ Jones. Our 2023 CCRPI results are in. Our content mastery, 43.6. Progress, 96. Closing the gaps, 100. And readiness, 70.2. Our climate score for 2023-2024, 67% of the students had a positive climate score. Parents, 85%, and personnel, 77%. Digging deeper into that data, some of the students said they didn't feel safe at school, or they didn't have someone that they could talk to at school. The personnel stated that they didn't feel valued at school, and some did not feel safe at school. And parents said that they wanted to be more involved in student activities. What does our school look like? Most of our students are African American. We have a small population of Caucasian students, some that identify as Hispanic Latino, some that identify with multiple races, 9 or more, 1 Asian, and 1 that identifies with Native Hawaiian. Are our students economically disadvantaged? Yes, the majority of them are economically disadvantaged. Our subgroups. We have 13 students that identify as gifted, 75 students that have identified as students with disabilities, 64 students that were in the MTSS process at the time, and 108 students with EIPs and 6 with 504s. MAJ Jones trending. Here you see a line graph of our CCRPI data from 2018, 2019. Of course, we know our COVID years we did not have data. And then our 2023 data for content mastery, progress, closing the gaps, and readiness. And if you look to the right, you'll see MAJ Jones as compared to the district. Now you see MAJ Jones as compared to the state. So here we are. We're taking a quick look at MAJ Jones Elementary School. What do you notice? And what do you wonder about the data? drastically in 2022. Wonder why the readiness isn't high. I wonder why almost 20% of the students are EIP. We do have that large population. 108 EIPs and 75. Wow. How is that? How do you manage that? It's 25% of our population.
So they're saying that almost half of your population is either EIP or SPED. That's not a kid problem.
So we have some challenges here at MAJ Jones. So what can we learn from further data? Here's our 2023 end of grade results. And I just put our mission statement just for clarity of what we said that we were going to do and provide, what service we were going to provide to our students. That 100% will be proficient or distinguished in all 4 content areas.
So are these the 4 content areas?
And so here's just overall end of grade results as far as proficiency for ELA, math,
And science. Okay. And then social studies stopped in 2019.
So, we are not meeting our targets.
Okay.
For a few months away.
Okay, there we go.
So, here's our 2023-2024 math data. So for winter 2023, of the 227 students in 3rd through 5th that took the exam, we have 8-10% students proficient or distinguished. From winter to spring, our students that needed help increase. And our students that were proficient and distinguished decreased from winter to spring. There's something going on at MAJ Jones. Fall 2024 math results. Compared to the district, MAJ Jones is almost twice. It's twice as many beginning learners as compared to the district. This is pretty much the same. And of course, just half as many proficient and distinguished. Yeah. Here's our mission. Math results for grade 3 through 5. 3rd grade, 44%, 51%, 60% of our 5th grade students are not ready to engage in 5th grade content. 51% of our 4th grade students, 44% of our 3rd grade students. And on this mission of 100% proficient or distinguished, we're not providing academic environments that enable our students to be successful. Fall math performance and winter performance goals. We have high goals here at MAJ Jones. We do want to move our students. The administration here is adamant that we will live up to this vision of having 100% of our students proficient or distinguished. Where are we right now? 2%. Proficient. 10% developed. effect to move this data. And we have a few weeks to see whether what we're doing is going to provide results.
Please excuse the interruption. This is the last call for chili dogs. Teacher staff, this is the last call for chili dogs. Thank you.
So based on the data, if you're a new teacher from another state coming to the city, and you see the data for MAJ Jones, what would you say about working at a school like MAJ Jones?
Oh, I would love it, cause I like a challenge, and I've only worked in areas, marginalized areas like this, and I do believe that if you give students access to the curriculum and you have high expectations, they'll meet it. But sometimes people pity the kids, and they don't establish the right relationships. So definitely you gotta have the right relationships, and you gotta give them access to the curriculum, the rigor of the curriculum.
As a parent moving into the area, we have a kindergartner, a third grader, and a fifth grader. You're looking at MAJ Jones and some other schools. What's going through your head?
I definitely would have some concerns about the 3rd and 5th grade. When I was looking at the data, I think there were 74 5th graders and 64%, so that's at least 36 students that in 5th grade. Wouldn't want my 5th grader to be one of the 35, and then looking at 3rd grade, I think they had, whatever it is, it's more than half of each grade level. So just having some concerns would definitely, if I had to give you the opportunity for you all to talk to me about your current state and your future state. And I can see that as a parent, I would think you guys have these missions, your vision, you're trying to work toward your goals. Just wondering how I could support it as well.
So our students need individualized instruction to meet their educational needs. Teachers need to individualize instruction to meet their TEACS goal of 70% of students meeting or exceeding their written growth targets. And effective data usage is essential to improving student data, achievement data here at MAJ Jones.
Do they use the learning continuum?
That's an excellent question. Our teachers have been given several professional development sessions on data, how to analyze data. They had one-on-one sessions with the interim principal, now assistant principal, about their own data sets and ways to use that data to guide their instructional practices. We've had several meetings about how to use MAP and the learning continuum and those profiles in there to address student achievement results. However, we have not turned the page as far as implementing all of those practices, as far as data usage, implementing those strategies in small group. We haven't seen the flow over into the classrooms.
Okay.
And the achievement level descriptors they've been provided to them, and they are supposed to have them with them in planning several times, paper and digitally.
Okay.
So they are aware they exist and how to use them.
And so there's more that needs to be done. So the driving question, how can MAJ's teachers and coaches use data to positively impact 3rd through 5th grade student performance on the math, NWA MAP assessments, and GMAS? Goals. My goals are to observe, educate, and to achieve. Observe. I want to see that 80% of 3rd through 5th grade teachers will use data to inform instructional practices. I want the students to be educated. I want 70% of our students to meet their written growth goals in December and March at a minimum. I want us to achieve. I want our math milestone scores to increase from 8% to 11% or more, meeting or exceeding expectations in mathematics. Implementation. What steps will be taken to support student achievement? We're going to go through it with data. I'm gonna introduce and model the CLEE data analysis protocol with 3rd through 5th grade teachers. That's gonna take place in November and December.
Mhm.
I'm going to ensure that teachers use the data analysis protocol consistently to analyze data from December through May by going to having our data meetings consistently on Fridays, talking about that data and using those protocols. And then I'm going to ensure that scholars engage in personalized learning based on their formal assessments, summative assessments, whatever assessment data we have. We want to make sure that when we're analyzing the data, that flows over into classroom learning. So strategies. So I'm going to introduce the data analysis protocol. So I've given here. This atlas, I think it's more simplified, and since we are engaged in learning project, I think it's appropriate if I can use another data protocol sheet, something that's quick, that'll fit within that 45-minute time frame for us that we have with them to be able to get through this data analysis protocol, and then being able to push in through some of their team planning times to also make sure that these data protocols are being put into place. So coach and teachers will use the current data sets and data analysis protocol to plan for small group instruction. So this is gonna be side by side, shoulder to shoulder work that I'm gonna have to do. And then after allowing time for implementation, coaches, and I'm gonna invite the admin team to go with me on walks to ensure that the data protocol is definitely in place and that the data, the things that we say we're going to do based on the data is actually happening in the classrooms. So that's just a quick look at the protocol. Once we get into it, I'm hoping that we can get through this protocol. It's about a 40-minute protocol, so that's enough time for us to get through the data set. If I give them some pre-work, we can get through it, and they'll be able to leave the learning session with the plan for instruction. So do any of these quotes resonate with you? Without data, you're just another person with an opinion. Data-driven decisions are the key to unlocking potential and driving success in education. The goal is to turn data into information and information into insight. What gets measured gets improved. And in a world where knowledge is power, data is the key to improving student outcomes. And my favorite, and I'm getting it made. Bottom line, data or did happen. Thank you so much.